Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is another HBAR update. I know I've updated twice the last day. It's just been a very complex area, and I'm going to treat this one more as an educational video. If you're new to the channel, we're looking for this ending diagonal to play out on the daily candles. So we're looking for this move up to complete our XY wave and come down for our third wave. Now, if we go down to our 15-minute, I'm currently not in this trade looking for a long. But today we had a lot of chop sideways. I offered a couple examples, but I want to show you how you can trade this and what brings your probabilities up on the trade. Just a few educational pieces. If you're not sure what's going on, the best thing to do is sit to the sidelines and wait for something to become clear. But I have a couple different perspectives here. I'm looking for a long if something happens, and I'll explain that to you. First of all, this is Binance. You can see we made a higher high here earlier today. If I go down to the 15-minute, which means this could possibly be a flat pattern, and then we get upside. But if we look at BitGet, which I was using earlier, where are we here? There we go. On BitGet, we didn't make a higher high. I actually like the shape of BitGet better. It's channeling a little bit better. But basically down on the 15-minute level, it's a hard count. Again, I can count this as 5 waves. This is clearly a 3-wave pattern. And I'm trying to get 5 waves to come out of that. So we get a B, C. Just waiting to see how that fills out on the 15-minute. Targets for the 1-to-1 is at 4988 on log scale, and on linear scale, same. So looking for this to finish up before I'm interested in a long. And if we get that, I'm going to enter a trade and put the stop at this low. And when I talk about trade setups, the safest trade setup currently is to take buys as close to the low on the larger pattern and put your stops down there. Now, the reason I might have to take 2 or 3 entries on this is because I put my stops closer, but the edge in that is I get much higher position sizes because my stop's so much closer. So for example, if I get in on this entry and my stop here, and I'm targeting up here at 5861 at the 50, I get a 15-to-1 trade, right? So I risk 1 unit of my account, 1% of my account, and I get 15 units, right? 15.8. But if I enter here and my stop is down here, you can see I only get 2.37 to 1. So that's why I'm fine taking multiple entries with tight stops. If you're more risk adverse or you don't have time to watch the charts, that's your safest bet. You just take a 2-to-1. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, your win rate, your wins to losses, your wins to losses, would go way up because you allow more patterns to fill out. If I take this long with my stop at that low, I'm saying this is a zigzag, and only a zigzag, right? I'm not allowing this to become some sort of ending diagonal where this is our wave 1 and an ending diagonal to come down. I'm not allowing that when I put my stop there. When you put your stop here, you're allowing that pattern to become available to your trade setup. I'm hoping that makes sense. So the more active you are, the more risky of an investor you are. You'll do better taking the tighter stops, but you're going to, because you win so much on your risk rewards, but you're going to lose more often. So there's no right answer. There's only trade-offs. I prefer this method. I win a little less, but when I win for example, in this setup, that 15 to 1 rather than 2 to 1. So it's worth it to me. And if I fail and this trade fails out and we make a new low below this low, no problem. I'll get in down in this area, put my stop at this low, and then I'll get probably close to a 3 to 1, right? But on the short-term time frames, that's why I choose to do that. Now, earlier today, I mentioned we were looking at Bitcoin as potentially stupid drawing tool, always the drawing tool. So right now, looking for this to come down in 5. So that way we have, this is a hard count. It's either a 5 or a 3, but anyways, either a flat pattern where we end in 5 or a zigzag where we end in 5. Probably a flat because we came so high here to this previous low, at least on BitGet. And on Bitcoin, we came higher, so most likely a flat. Zigzags don't make new highs, right? So I'm going to be looking for this trade as close to the 1 to 1 at 4988. If you see the fibs, the third wave should come to the 1.618 here, and the fifth just has to make a new low below that or a double bottom, ideally below this A wave low. Let me just mark that for you so you understand what I mean. If this is an A, B, C, we just want to make a new low on that A wave. So that's what I'm going to be doing. As close to the 1 to 1 as I can, and my stop's going to be right here. Because I'm trying to get as close to that 15 to 1 entry as I can, because that'll be a pretty phenomenal trade if it works out. Again, do not get upset if it doesn't. That's part of trading. You just take good risk rewards, and when probabilities are on your side. This is more of a risk reward than a probability trade, and I'm aware of that. Like I said, if I get stopped out here, I look for an entry close to the bottom of this channel where you have a W, extremely long X, and if this turns into a ending diagonal or something, or a complex correction, I look to buy at the bottom of the channel. That will be my failure entry. Be somewhere near here. Stop will be at that low, still targeting that upside move as our X wave before we go to the downside. And you can see I'm getting 4 to 1 on that trade setup. Again, nothing wrong with taking the entry at that area, allowing more patterns to become available, and taking this trade, but you can see it's the least profitable of the 3 trades. So I'm fine taking this 15 to 20 to 1 trade and then a 4 to 1 trade. But I'm also watching the charts pretty much all day, every day. So something to consider. Now, say we don't make a new low here. This is where I want you to start to think about what else can be happening. Here's an example. So say this is an A wave, which clearly it is. We have a A, B, C. So that makes a larger A wave. In most likely a flat, which can also make a larger A wave after. Remember, like I showed you earlier, and this would just be a larger degree. A, B, C, and we just keep going higher and higher until we reach that level, right? But nothing says we have to make that new low. So my question to you is, say we just start taking off from here and we do not make that 5 waves down. What can be happening? The first thing I would say is, okay, our A wave is in. Obviously it's in. Could we still be in a B wave where we get a 3? If we reversed here, that would be 3 waves. And say we start coming up in 5, right? I'm like, oh no, the market's getting away from us. What could be happening? Well, this could all be a B wave. And then I would look for 5 waves down to complete a larger flat. I hope you're understanding this. That's if we do not make a new low, this is what I would look for next. Because I'd say this is the start of something. this does not look like the end of something, so we must still be in the middle corrective wave of a ABC pattern, right? I hope this is being explained properly. As you know, earlier we were looking for something like this and then a sideways consolidation. That was previous video. We did not get that. We have to adjust to what waves have printed. And I'll show you an example of what I mean. Let's back up even in this correction for a moment. Here's an example. We had a wave down, got a wave down. Obviously this one's a little more aggressive, but say I copy these waves here just to show you what I mean. So we had our wave down, like so. We had our wave down, then we had a wave up. Like so. Let me just crunch that a little bit. See, we're in the same area. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So we have an A wave down. We then get a B wave in a 3-wave pattern, an A, B, C, and then we get our wave down for our C. And then we take off again. So this all just becomes one ABC. And I always look for those when it appears like this second wave does not match, doesn't complete a correction. And you can see in the previous move here where I just copied that, we had our wave down, we made a new high, and then we made another wave down, right? And then we just extended even more. So we had my stupid drawing tool. Sorry guys. I'm going to bed shortly, but I wanted to make sure you guys see this. So we had an A, B, C, A, B, C. So we had an A, B, C, and then we collapsed off a bridge here, right? We can do the exact same thing here. A, B, C, down, and then we go up. So my suggestion is to watch the chart. I'm looking for these 5 waves. Before I'm interested in a buy, I will try and buy as low to this low as I can and go long, stop at this low. Again, my second buy is the bottom of this channel, stop at the previous low over here. But if we start to take off, I'm not interested in a buy at the moment. Because if we took off from here and I didn't get my buy areas, I would expect this to still be part of a B wave. And we come down and make a flat. And then I might be interested here, stop at this low. So my point of all this is to be aware of every pattern that can fill out. And if you can't see something, don't just assume where it's going to go. And please wait for a high probability setup, because I have this as a 3-wave, right? You guys know that. We have a 5-wave down or a 3-wave down. We then have a reversal. We have nothing to complete this current correction. There's no way that's complete at the moment. So the only way to complete is to finish this 5-wave move down or come up and come down again, right? And then we get an A, B, C flat. So as of right now, I'm waiting. I'm not interested in HBAR until one of those two things happen. Now I do have buys at this level at 4988 with a stop at this low. I already have those ready to be triggered overnight if I don't happen to catch it. And then I also have buys down here at the 618, stop at this low to get that 4-to-1 trade. But I still don't see how we're going to the downside here. Without making that move to the upside first. It's not impulsive whatsoever since our top here. We're just correcting sideways in quite the consolidation. Lots of paint drying. But it will be a pretty fast big move when it does happen, because the longer something goes sideways, usually the more impulsive it is when it's complete. So definitely don't want to miss this one. This is more educational than anything. But my buy is at that area, stop at this low. Second buy below that, around the 618, stop at this low. Obviously, I hope we get this one, the 24-1. That'd be a nice trade setup. All right, guys. So if we get that, again, this is one of many things that can happen. This was a three-wave move, looking for this to be a three-wave move. If we get that, I have this as an A, B, looking for a C in 5 waves, right to the upside, up to our target. So that's my anticipation. My anticipation is this is the low over here. That this was a correction in itself. And now we're moving to the upside, but correctively in an A, B, C. Nothing says that has to happen. Once again, I just want to make that clear what I'm looking for. Ideally, we just get 5 waves out of here, finish up real quick. But as you know, we can also get a 3-wave move here, and this becomes the bigger A. And this becomes a 3-wave in itself. Come back here, then go up. So lots of things that can happen. But right now, interested in what happens over the next day here to see what kind of correction ends up printing out. But not interested at the moment till around this area. All right, guys, thanks for watching.